हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। आज हम करेंगे सीन 4 तुगलक का, रिटन बाय गिरीश कर्नाड। सो सीन 4, शेख इमामुद्दीन is mistaken for the sultan and is killed. Eventually the sultan wins the battle and forgives IGNOU Mulk. A conspiracy against the sultan is afoot. इमामुद्दीन जो है वो यानू मुल्क जो है उसको माफ़ कर देता है सुल्तान, एंड शेख इमामुद्दीन जो है वो मारा जाता है और एक कॉन्स्पिरेसी हो रही है सुल्तान के अगेंस्ट। द सीन ओपन्स इन द पैलेस विथ शिहाबुद्दीन रीडिंग अ फ्यू लेटर्स। द सुल्तान्स स्टेप मदर कम्स इन एंड एक्सप्रेसेस हर सेटिस्फेक्शन एट द वे he has looked after Delhi in the absence of the Sultan. Shihabuddin's adopted brother Ratan Singh comes in from the front and tells them the Sultan has come back and that Sheikh Imamuddin has been killed. The Sultan, who comes in soon after along with Nazib and Barani, is very grave at the death of the Sheikh and describes how deeply affected he was when his dead body was brought into his tent. He announces that Delhi will observe the following day as mourning for the Sheikh and that there will be no victory celebrations. As far as IGNOU Mulk, the Sultan tells them that he had forgiven him, much to the dismay of both नाजिब and his stepmother. तो उसकी stepmother और नाजिब नहीं चाहते थे कि उसको forgive कर दिया जाए, उसको माफ़ कर दिया जाए. He explains that IGNOU Mulk took just half a minute to discover a flaw in the problem of chess that he thought he had solved, which pleased the Sultan mightily and he forgave him. He also gave him back his kingdom and promised not to send him to Deccan. This gesture wins the approval of Barani, who admires the Sultan for his courage. The Sultan then leaves along with Nazib, Barani and his stepmother. Left alone with his adopted brother Shihabuddin, Ratan Singh calls the Sultan an honest scoundrel and shares with him the real story of the engagement with IGNOU Mulk and how the Sheikh got killed in the action. When he saw him at Kannauj, the Sultan was not particularly pleased. The following day, he found himself posted in the front rank of the platoon, which almost always means certain death. The Sheikh approaches IGNOU Mulk in full royal splendor, sitting on an elephant as an emissary, means messenger of peace, and stopped 100 yards from the enemy, looking very much like the Sultan. Just then, a trumpeter, means जो ढोल नगाड़े बजाते ना वो, from their own side sounded the charge and the battle was on. The enemy thought that the Sheikh was the Sultan himself, and after killing him, they tried to chase them. This led to a bloody massacre and an eventual defeat of IGNOU Mulk. As for the Sultan himself, he had been hiding behind some hills with the rest of the army. Okay, now just wait. We need to watch every move by the Sheikh. Do you now see the whole point of sending the rebellious Sheikh, who is also a look-alike of the Sultan, to Kannauj? The calculations of both Nazib and the Sultan proves to be true. The enemy takes the Sheikh to be the Sultan himself and they kill him, and thinking that they have killed him pursue them, which leads to a terrible massacre and eventual defeat. An astute, clever move that checkmates means defeats both Yanu Mulk and the Sheikh. Before going, Ratan Singh informs Sahib Shihabuddin that the nobles of the court and the important citizens of Delhi were holding a secret meeting. We are not told about what, and that he had accepted an invitation to attend it. Ratan Singh believes that his adopted brother might also like to join them because the Sultan had tried to kill him off. At this, Shihabuddin turns pale. Now, scene 5. द कॉन्स्पिरेटर्स. अच्छा, इसमें ना कुछ क्वेश्चंस भी हैं जो मैं आपके लिए रीड करूँगी ताकि जब हम एक इन सीन पढ़ें, जैसे सीन 4 हमने पढ़ा, उसके बाद मैं जब क्वेश्चन पढ़ूँगी तो उससे हमें ये पता चल जाएगा कि इसी सीन 4 में इसके आंसर्स हैं. तो इसमें 4 क्वेश्चंस हैं. शायद मैंने पिछले वाले लेक्चर्स में पढ़े या नहीं पढ़े, मुझे याद नहीं है, लेकिन इसमें मैं अब ये स्टार्ट कर दूँगी ताकि हमारे दिमाग में ये रहे कि हाँ, इसमें से ही ये आंसर निकलेगा, इसी सीन में से, है ना. तो एक्सरसाइज इसमें क्वेश्चंस है 4. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, हु कॉल्स द सुल्तान एन ऑनेस्ट स्काउंड्रल एंड वाई? इज दैट अ करेक्ट रीडिंग ऑफ द सुल्तान्स करेक्टर? हाउ डज द सुल्तान्स कंडक्ट हेयर स्क्वेयर अप with his professions of idealism earlier in scene 3? Okay, question number 2 है, Ratan Singh says, a sultan's scowl is a terrible thing. What does he mean by it? Question 3, why does the sultan order a day of mourning for, mourning means रोना धोना जो भी है, दुख का, किसी के मरने पर दुख करना. Why does the Sultan order a day of mourning for Sheikh Imamuddin? Question number 4. Sorry. Why does Shihabuddin turn pale at the invitation from his adopted brother to attend a meeting of the rebels? Now we are on scene 5. इसके टोटल 13 सीन है, तो 4-5 वीडियोज़ में ये फिनिश हो जाएंगे. Okay, scene 5. The conspirators persuade a reluctant Shihabuddin to lead the conspiracy and, at the suggestion of Ratan Singh, decide to kill the Sultan while he is praying. इसमें भी एक बहुत बड़ा ट्रैक है. इसमें शिहाबुद्दीन को राज़ी कर दिया जाता है, जो प्रिंस है उसको राज़ी कर दिया जाता है कि वो सुल्तान के अगेंस्ट कॉन्स्पिरेसी करेगा, और राज़ी उसको कौन करता है? रतन सिंह करता है ना. लेकिन रतन सिंह ही बाद में सुल्तान को ये बता देता है कि शिहाबुद्दीन आपके अगेंस्ट जो है वो आपको मारने की कोशिश कर रहा है. अब रतन सिंह ऐसा इसलिए करता है क्योंकि वो शिहाबुद्दीन जो अपना फ्रेंड है उसी से बदला लेना चाहता है, या भाई है उसी से बदला लेना चाहता है, मुंह बोला भाई है, उससे बदला लेना चाहता है क्योंकि शिहाबुद्दीन के फादर ने शिहाबुद्दीन के फादर ने शायद रतन सिंह के फादर को मारा था. ये इस तरह की कुछ कहानी, अभी हमें एग्जैक्ट पता चल जाएगा. ओके, नाउ विल स्टार्ट सीन 5. दिस सीन डील्स विद द आमिर्स एंड सैयद्स. आमिर्स एंड सैयद्स कुछ लोग हैं जो कि डिफरेंट कल्ट के हैं, जैसे आमिर्स अलग हैं, सैयद्स अलग हैं. Trying to persuade Shihabuddin to lead the conspiracy, he is an outsider and as such an ideal person to lead the conspiracy. ठीक है, आउटसाइडर है तो कि इसीलिए वो आइडियल पर्सन है. He says no and tells them of the good things that Sultan has done and agrees to throw in his lot with them for public reason. The scene lays bare the motives of the conspirators. The Amirs are upset at having to leave Delhi, which is their home and where they are strong. Moreover, Daulatabad is a Hindu city and they will be helpless there. Then they are required to pay far too many taxes. As one of them says, you cannot even cheat without your having to pay for it. ओके उनमें से एक बोलता है कि यू कांट इवन चीट, आप चीट नहीं कर सकते, आपको मतलब उसके लिए पे करना पड़ेगा, जो भी आप कर रहे हो उसके लिए आपको पे करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. शेख शामुद्दीन, ये एक नाम है, एक ओल्ड मैन का नाम बताया है इन्होंने. seems to be the only man from Delhi who is genuinely concerned about the welfare of the people and the growing tyranny of the Sultan's rule. He gives several instances, examples of the Sultan's tyranny, including the death of Sheikh Imamuddin. मतलब कुछ ऐसे समझदार लोग भी हैं जिनको पता है कि something is going wrong. काफ़ी लोगों को पता होगा वैसे तो. In reply, Shihabuddin says that if the Sultan is responsible for that death, the Amirs and the people of Delhi are no less responsible for it. मतलब वो भी उतने ही रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं. अगर सुल्तान रिस्पॉन्सिबल है तो वो लोग भी इतने ही रिस्पॉन्सिबल है. इससे हमें एक चीज़ समझ में आती है कि जो प्रिंस था ना शिहाबुद्दीन, वो बहुत ही वो लॉयल था एक्चुअली, सुल्तान के बारे में अच्छा सोचता था और उसका काफ़ी प्रेस करता था. लेकिन वो उसको फंसा दिया गया था ना, उसके जो भाई था रतन सिंह उसने. अच्छा, दे वर टू काउडली टू अटेंड द पब्लिक मीटिंग ही वॉज टू एड्रेस. एट दिस the old sheikh uncovers the sultan's designs and explains how the sultan's soldiers had ordered to prevent citizens of Delhi from reaching the auditorium. क्योंकि जब शेख आया था, शेख के आने पर लोगों को ऑडिटोरियम में नहीं आने दिया गया था, उनको घर जाके बोला गया था कि आपको नहीं आना है. वैसे खुले में तो ये बोला गया था कि आओ, लेकिन फिर बाद में सुल्तान ने अपने लोगों को भेज के बोला था कि नहीं आना है. He shows Shihab a wound that he himself had received on his shoulders in trying to go to the meeting. When Shihabuddin says that the Sultan has done him no harm, he appeals to him not to think of himself but about the people. Ratan Singh also joins the others in persuading him. At this stage, Ratan Singh unfolds a scheme to murder the Sultan during compulsory prayers. Even the soldiers have to lay down their arms while praying. Ironically, the God-fearing sheikh who had tried to exhort Shihab for the killing now pleads with him not to agree to the sacrilege. But Shihabuddin can't withdraw now. It's too late. They start working out the details. इसके भी कुछ questions हैं. Number 1, does this scene ring a bell in your mind? Doesn't it remind you of a similar scene in Julius and Caesar? Conspirators everywhere, it seems, have to look for a leader who has no personal axe to grind. Question number 2. What makes the conspirators choose Shihabuddin as a leader? Number 3. What are the good things that Shihabuddin says about the Sultan? 4. Note the use of the motive of prayer here and at other places in the play. Can you see any hint in the scene that will lead to the failure of the conspiracy? Okay, अब हम आ गए सीन नंबर 6 पे. तो कितना टाइम, 14 मिनट्स हो गए अभी वीडियो को. जस्ट वेट. हम लोग 6 सीन भी कर लेंगे, सीन 6 भी कर लेंगे और इस वाले वीडियो में. ओके, द कॉन्स्पिरेसी इज़ डिफीटेड. The leader Shihabuddin is ruthlessly stabbed by the Sultan himself. It is a powerful scene full of tension. Knowing about the conspiracy as we do, we watch the goings on with bated breath. Barani notices that both the Sultan and Nazib are tense, and at this stage, we suspect that they know about the conspiracy. But though they behave with great self restraint, the Sultan's impatience and fury, gussa, come through increasingly as the scene progresses. बहुत गुस्से में है सुल्तान. The Amir comes in, the Amirs means एक कुछ लोग हैं ये एक कल्ट के. Amirs come in, वो अंदर आते हैं, and the Sultan informs them with obvious warmth that a descendant of the Abbasid caliphs, Ghyasuddin Muhammad, is coming to India. Shihabuddin compliments the king on his wisdom, a word to which the Sultan objects. He says that he has invited him not to placate the stupid priests, as he puts it. The Sultan then asks a question about what lends legitimacy of to this kingship, which shows the big uh, problem that exists between the Sultan and the conspirators. Am I a king only because I am the son of a king? Or is it because I can make the people accept my laws and the army move to my commands? Or can self confidence alone justify it? I ask you, all of you, what would you have me do to become a real king in your eyes? Silence. The conspirators have no answer to this and they all keep silent. The Sultan then explains that until he has the answer, he has to continue to rule, but that he is not happy. He adds that he is turning to history and tradition to seek an answer and seek the blessings of the Abbasid Caliph. The Sultan's responses bring out his increasingly impatience at the opposition of the people and the Amirs to his policies. When Shihab explores the Sultan not to take the capital to Daulatabad, he says his empire cannot flourish from Delhi as his capital, and then adds, but how can I explain tomorrow to those who have not even opened their eyes to the light of the day, the light of today? Later, he makes a fervent speech asking the Amirs to trust him and cooperate in the building of new future for India, and ends by melodramatically kneeling before them. The entire scene is meant to discredit the conspirators. To use the metaphor from chess, they are checkmates. The Sultan's vengeful fury against Shihabuddin is well founded. He had sent for him to assist Nazib in administering the state in his absence, which shows that he fully trusted him. He is furious to discover that that very man should betray him. मतलब उस आदमी ने उसको सुल्तान को बिट्रे किया. The additional stabs means चाकू घोंपना, that he gives to Shihabuddin's body after Shihab has died not only show his deep frustration but also his cruelty. When the kind-hearted Bairani covers his face with cloth, the Sultan removes it, saying that people should see the wounds. Obviously, he wants Shihabuddin's death to be an object lesson for all against trickery. But if the Sultan is furious, he knows how to turn adverse events to his advantage. This is clear from his directions on handling Shihabuddin's trickery. It will be given out that there was a rebellion in the palace and that Shihabuddin had died a martyr's death in trying to save the Sultan. The conspiracy has another fallout. He now orders that people should start moving to Daulatabad within a fortnight, 15 दिन में. His statement, nothing but an empty graveyard of Delhi, will satisfy me now. He reveals how he is now bent upon implementing his ideas ruthlessly in spite of all oppositions. Now इसके हम क्वेश्चन आंसर पढ़ेंगे. अब इसके 4 क्वेश्चंस हैं. वन इज़ वाई डज बरानी सॉब, रोता है, at the end of the scene, account for his behavior throughout the scene. The exposure of the conspiracy has been leftly handled. There is a similar scene in Henry V. An important item in this respect is the sense of timing. Do you agree? What is your own response to the Sultan's behavior in this scene? The motive of prayer, fourth है, the motive of prayer and chess are employed most clearly in this scene. Public announcement about shifting to Daulatabad. The public announcement after the failure of the conspiracy is on expected lines. When the Sultan had addressed the people in the first scene, he had said, "There is an invitation, not an order. Only those who have faith in me may come with me." Now, he leaves the citizens of Delhi to no choice. Within the next month, every citizen must leave for Daulatabad. It must be added that the Sultan says he has taken care of all the needs of the people, including their medical needs. The remaining 7 scenes of the play are set either on the way from Delhi to Daulatabad, in the hills, or in Daulatabad itself. Okay, now next में मैं वीडियो में पार्ट 2 करूँगी, सीन 7. Thank you so much.